Welcome to another episode of Media Industries, the talk show that brings the classroom to the industry and the industry to you. I'm Nicholas Boston. I'm a professor in the Department of Journalism and Media Studies at Lehman College of the City University of New York. Media Studies is one of the courses I teach. Students in the class who are learning about the corporate structures and business strategies in the media industries produce this talk show. They invite professionals from across the media industries of print, broadcast, and digital, as well as industries that intersect with media, such as fashion and music, to come on and discuss their jobs and the states of their industries. Students take this opportunity to apply the theoretical knowledge they're gaining in the classroom. This is our third season of Media Industries, the talk show. We have a lineup of 6 episodes, each bringing you an eye-opening conversation with a different professional who makes the media that capture our world. Media Industries is recorded in our state-of-the-art studio in the Multimedia Center at Lehman College and delivered to you here on BronxNet Television. So please sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode of Media Industries.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Media Industries, the talk show. I'm Shanique Ruiz. Media entrepreneurship is a small but steadily growing sector of media ownership in the United States. It is where you find people who are attracted to both media production and business administration. Media entrepreneurs set out to successfully create a business that provides media-related services either inside the media industry or to the general public. But it can't be that simple. What are the rewards in comparison to working for an established media company? What are the risks? What does it take to do media entrepreneurship effectively? Our guest today can shed light on these questions for us. Santos Garcia is the co-founder and chief executive officer of his own marketing consulting company, the 82 Group. The goal of the 82 Group is to build effective and accessible, well-represented content for clients in the music and entertainment industries. Their clients have included recording sensations like Ne-Yo, Ludacris, and even Justin Bieber. Mr. Garcia has cultivated a name for himself in the music industry and making his company a distinctive brand. Welcome.
Thanks. How you doing? Thank you for having me.
I'm good. Thank you for coming. So could you tell us more about what your job entails and what a marketing consultant does exactly?
Yeah, sure, 100%. So the 82 Group is basically a company that my partner and I created, Renard Devine, to bridge the gap between these big brands that want to be associated with the culture and the music culture, in fact. So what we did is there's always a gap in between brands and music. Music has a strong influence on just a lot of what's going on with the kids and what's being followed. So my partner and I created a company that can actually use these big brands that we use on a day-to-day basis to actually get together and create something bigger than what it was just there. You know, that's the bridge. That's us, the 82 Group.
That's great. So I know a little about your relationship with Ne-Yo and how he was a part of your beginning and how you started in the media. Could you tell us more about you guys' relationship and how you met?
Yeah, no, sure. It was funny. It was a funny story, actually. It's his manager. I actually started working at Def Jam. I was part of the street team promotion side of things back when Luda had an album called Chicken and Bear. And his manager was a good friend of mine, someone that I used to just bug, you know. I used to just go to his office and I was always the type of guy that just go into people's office and just pop my head in there and just be like, hey, what's up? You know, so his manager had came and told me that he was working on a new artist called Ne-Yo. And at that time, I think the movie Matrix was out. And I was like, Ne-Yo from the Matrix? Like the actor, he's gonna be an artist now. He was like, no, there's this guy. He's really dope. He's a writer. You know, he wrote he has some great hits out there. He's gonna be an artist now. And I was just like, Okay, cool. And that's how the relationship started to progress. And I started doing just promotions for him on the marketing side of things. So that was like the initial, when So Sick came out and Sexy Love came out. Like,
Oh, wow, I love those songs.
yeah, classics. Thank you. Thank you. So that was the initial time when I first started, when that relationship first started.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
Now, while we're on the topic of clients,
Yeah.
I understand that you just did a campaign with Justin Bieber in Ireland. How was that?
Well, it wasn't a campaign. It was just a little a minor meet and greet. We have several clients that we actually try to bridge the gap between. That's essentially what the goal is. Sometimes you might have certain artists that are just like fresh into the scene, but don't know how to make that connection and transfer over into the corporate side of things.
Right.
I mean, you have these big companies and these big corporations that want to be associated with you because of your influence, but because you don't have the proper representation or that relationship, it's very, very difficult to actually bridge that gap. So other than JB, other than any of the other clients that we work with, that's essentially what we do. We just bridge the gap. What is that gap? What is it that you want to do? Whether, if you're athletic, maybe you should, get a deal with an athletic company like Nike or Reebok, if you like food, maybe you should do a segment on a cooking show, because of your influence. And surprisingly, your audience will tune in to these stations and look at you, which, increases numbers and viewership.
Okay. Could you tell us more about your work with Ludacris?
Yeah. Oh, no, like I said earlier, Luda is I actually was working for Luda, doing street team for Luda. And we developed a partnership, a friendship, and then later a partnership where we just started throwing different sponsorship opportunities. He has this huge weekend in Atlanta called Luda Day Weekend in Atlanta. It's huge. It's a beautiful thing that he does out there in Atlanta. And basically we help find different sponsorships that can actually work with Luda. I did something in Texas for him as well. It was just a show, something minor out there. But we've also done, business with. I did something in LA for Verizon. But yeah, that's what's essentially what I like. Luda, cool, real down, very, very, very talented person.
That's great. So as a CEO and co-founder for your own company, could you tell us more about like the structure of like a workday for you? How's that? Yeah,
well, as an entrepreneur, I consider myself, which is a benefit that is I'm on my own clock, but I have to create my opportunities. I have to be able to create my opportunities, and a lot of these opportunities are based on my relationships. If I don't reach out, I get no reward. I have to reach out. I have to create these opportunities. As entrepreneurs, that is the essence of. I guess in this era, we're in a beautiful time right now. We're from social media to, we can reach out to anybody we want. No one is not, everyone is touchable. Anybody can be touched, anybody can be contacted. So what I do on a day-to-day basis, I reach out to a lot of the relationships that I've established over the years, and I, might have a conversation, might take someone out to lunch, dinner, might go to an event to kind of see exactly what we can do as far as partnership or as far as what's missing, what's that missing piece that can create, something amazing. There are so many different opportunities out there, but you have to put yourself in a position to kind of be open-minded to the potential, just what can actually happen, what's missing. The other day I was looking on social media, I was on Instagram and I saw, I don't know if you have been to a concert, to these huge concerts, and they had people wear, you might wear your nice shoes, a pair of white sneakers or whatever shoes you like, your favorite sneakers, and they get muddy and they get messed up. So what this kid did, he actually created a bag that goes over the shoe, right?
Wow.
So, and I know back in the days, you get a bag from the deli and you put it over your shoes, you get 2 bags. But this kid actually took the actual idea and just cleaned it up a little bit. He created it, and it looks like a shoe, and it has like a little rope that you put around the ankle, and it was brilliant. Now, if you take this
innovation at its finest.
Amazing, exactly. You take this idea, you get it for wholesale, you take it to a festival, easy, amazing. Your profit margins is crazy, So simple things like that make a huge difference, So That's exactly, you know, on a day-to-day basis, you looking for opportunity, looking for how to make the world a better place and connect and bridge the gap.
Okay, so you segued into my next question. How do you feel about work and your social life? Like, do they kind of intertwine at times? Do you have issues kind of separating the two? How's that for you?
I like my life, and I like, you know, I like that I consider myself to be involved in everything I do. I'm very, very passionate about everything I do. You know, from the minute that I wake up, you know, you got to think of yourself as a brand, right? You are a brand. You represent yourself a certain kind of way, and from the minute you wake up to the minute you go to sleep, everything you do counts, and you have to enjoy it. Because if not, you're going to end up being miserable. From the people you you talk to in the morning, to the way you carry yourself, to what you do, where you work out, what train you take, what car everything. Enjoy what you do. So because I'm so involved in my life and I love what I do, it's hard for me to separate them in a way. You know what I'm saying? Because I love every minute and everything about it. My family, my job, what I do for a living, whether it's traveling, everything about it. So it's not no separation. It's very, very together. It's very, very
Just
together.
by that answer, I'm super inspired. But what's been a driving force for you? Like, how'd you know that this is what you wanted to do? What was that push for you?
There are a lot of driving forces. You know, within my life as a whole, just what actually did it for me, honestly, was traveling. You know, I was raised in Brooklyn, but actually, when I had a chance to actually travel to other foreign countries, I got a chance to see how music is a beautiful thing. Music is a language that the melodies and harmonies talk to everybody. You know, I've been to countries where people don't even know how to speak the language, but they know the melody. They know how to, and I love the way music does that. And if music can influence people to change, or everyone can get in the room, regardless of what issue you're going through, and get in the room and just feel free and stress free, then that's what drives me. That inspires me to, let's figure out how to continue to spread this message and continue to spread this love, which is with music, you know, all genres of music.
So, what would you say are some habits that you've built and created that have helped you with what you're doing now, like that have come over time maybe, or that you came into the media industry with that kind of helped you?
Smiling. Just smile. You know, just be nice. It doesn't, you know, it just doesn't hurt to be nice. I think that's a big issue in life, you know, that I think that you have to set forward your standard, you know, of just how you're going to go about your day in life. Just be happy, regardless of what you're going through. And I know it sounds very like, oh, you know, regardless of what's going through, whether your rent is late, your phone bill, or whatever you're going through in life, it's these things come in the way of your happiness in life, you know, and what you want to, and that actually kind of messes up your progress in what you do, you know, going to school, because these issues are always going to be there. But if you just set a standard for what you know, for what it is that you want to do by happiness, by smiling, you'll get there way smoother.
So, what do you say that are some skills that you've acquired, like over time, being a media consultant, that you think will be helpful maybe to you as you progress, or even in the area that you are in specifically now?
I would say brand partnership, understanding what's the missing link. Being able to, it's a skill that you have to be able to sit down and really understand what's the missing link, or what's actually the missing part in a puzzle. Because there's always a missing part, there's always opportunity, you know, there's always room for growth. Brands are constantly redeveloping every single day. You know, you look at your phone, your iPhone, you know, it was this time when people used to use beepers. Now you got iPhones, phones, you can take pictures with your phone, you can make international calls and all kind of cool stuff, you know? So I think that's a skill set, you know, but you have to kind of develop that sense of skill where you have to just indulge yourself in actually trying to understand what's missing. How can you make it better?
So, could you tell us more about your thoughts on the precarity and uncertainty of the entertainment industry, and how does being a CEO kind of help you with that? Does it give you some type of security?
Yeah, to an extent, as an entrepreneur, it does give you a little bit of leverage because it is uncertain. It's always, the market is always changing. New talent is constantly coming into business. But if you're an open person, an open individual, because it's so all over the place, it allows you to be accepting to what's coming easier. There are new talent and new lingo, new ways of people talking. From people swag surfing 2 years ago, to someone doing the Millie Rock last year, and then we saying ooh this year. There's always different little phrases and stuff like that, and you can take those little things that are happening and grow with those things. And I think it was it was a certain amount of time where people were wearing slippers. Maybe you could take the phrase "ooh" and put it on your slippers. Somebody looks at your slippers and that's oh, you got slippers. I don't know. It's like talent is always coming in. You always figure out what's going on with the culture, and then you implement those kind of things.
So in the area that you're in, how important do you think networking is in kind of getting your name out there and knowing who you know and using that to kind of get to the next chapter in your life?
Network. I think networking is important in everything you do in life. Actually, to be honest, I just think I think that's the key to a lot of successful anything. And as far as business, I think networking is very, very, very important. It doesn't hurt to just have a conversation as a friendship and develop that type of understanding with yourself to just go out there and network, not just in my field, because if I was just to be the type of person to just be in my field of music and just saying, okay, all I want to do is just music, I probably would have never developed into creating my own company one day where I do brand partnerships. So networking is important, even for yourself, as a college student, believe it or not, these are the people that you're going to one day be able to reach out and speak to, because you went to school with them, or you never know who's going to be able to help you or who might inspire you an idea. So networking is a very, very important thing.
Now, being a black male in today's industry, how does that affect you? What type of struggles or triumphs do you see yourself faced with, if any? What type of good things do you see?
Oh, there are struggles, because the perception on how you might be viewed upon as when you walk in a room is not the same as others. So off the top, you have to walk in there with something that's out of this world, whether it's an ideal or a concept you want to try, because that you already have this look like, oh, what does this guy has to offer to us? But it's all beautiful. Any struggle you go through in life makes you stronger. Anything in life that you go through makes you just gotta climb over that hill. Yeah, there are struggles, but I love them. I love a struggle. I love it, because I know that when I get over this, oh man, I'm just not even just gonna get over it, but I'm gonna learn, and I'm gonna be able to share that with many others. So, yeah.
So that's amazing, first of all. Now, I would like to know your take on social media and how important you think that is as a media marketing consultant.
It's very important to understand that when you post a pic, you got to think of yourself as a brand. Like I was saying earlier, you are a brand. Treat yourself like a brand. There are brands out there that we respect for certain things. We might wear Nike because it's a brand trusted in sportswear. We know, okay, I can get some good pair of sneakers from Nike, some good workout clothes, but I wouldn't necessarily fly Nike on an airplane, right? But there's certain brands that you trust for certain things, right? And if you pay attention to social media today, the minute that a brand has an issue, a I want to say airline, but we're not going to name exactly the airline that had the problem. You know, you no longer want to travel that airline, you know, because the brand, it was damaged. Treat yourself like a brand. So if you're on social media and you're posting certain pictures, understand that that's your brand. You know, when people look at your social media, that's your brand. You know, that before they meet you, before they speak to you, yeah, you're right. They don't know you. Right, cool. But that's your brand. And that later on, that's going to dictate the success of how you want to do other businesses. If you want to, you know, open up a business or you want to do something else in life, you know, so definitely be very smart about what you post, because that's your brand. You know, you want to be trusted for that, you know, for what you put out there in the world.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, lastly, what do you think is some useful advice that you could give to college students like myself and my classmates who want to be media professionals eventually at some point?
Some advice. Don't be afraid to network. Don't be afraid to just go out there and, you know, the craziest ideas that you might have as far as being, you know, out, create them, write them down, you know, get in contact. I'm pretty sure the way you've got in contact with me was because you decided to, you know, you make the decision, you know, make the decision to actually go about it and do it, and you will get there, you know. That's one piece of advice. You know, I would have never thought, you know, 10 years ago I started working at Def Jam Records, and I would have never thought within that 10 years time that I would have, you know, opened up a business. I would have traveled to these beautiful countries. You know, I would have been part of amazing things, but I made the decision. So as a college student, you know, make the decision right now, this very second. You know, make that decision. And once you do that, you got that. That's the hard part. Once you made that decision, everything else is going to be easy.
Okay, now unfortunately we've reached the end of this. So could you please tell us, like, where would we be able to find you? Where could I maybe learn more about your business?
Yeah, sure. If you want to call me on my cell, 646 now. No, no. If you want to, I'm on social media, Santos Garcia, Toast Money, or you could just, you know, once you go on my social media, that Instagram, you know, my email and everything is connected to that.
Okay. Now, thank you for watching this episode of Media Industries. To see all of our shows we've done, please visit bronxnet.org.